So in this video, I want to talk about, as far as I'm concerned, the number one lesson entrepreneurs learn way too late. What it is? So simple. Slow and steady wins the race. So, in an aspiring business person, and I hope as watching this, you are an aspiring business person, your kind of inclination is to get stuck in, to get going, to get working. You perhaps forget about the planning or the market research before that. And those in other videos, if you've watched them, you'd realize how important they are. But fact of the matter is, it's something that follows one's journey all the way throughout. You just want to get going. You force success. You try to move too fast. And that's where mistakes happen. That's when you sell yourself short. And that's where you find yourself going around in circles. Whereas I spent literally a year interviewing over 100 plus entrepreneurs. That was about 4 years ago, and I've done the same ever since. And the one thing that I find absolutely fascinating is when you really connect with the successful entrepreneurs, the key thing that they all have in common is that they take things slowly. So, if they were starting off in business, what would they do? They would think about whatever it is that they want to get into, what area of business that it is that they want to get into. They'd look at several other businesses or several businesses at a time to make sure that whatever it is that they're going to commit themselves to is the right one for them. Once they've found the right business for them, what do they do then? Instead of jumping in to do something themselves, they'll find whoever it is in that space that they look up to and admire the most. They'll present themselves to them and they'll serve an apprenticeship. It could be for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever. Because they realize that if they learn from somebody at the top of their game, it'll accelerate their journey in the long run. That's something that's so key that so many people have forgotten. Then when it comes to starting, they'll start really slowly. Again, if you want success, the fact of the matter is that everything has its natural growth curve. If you try to force that, you end up having to spend too much, perhaps on marketing, or perhaps too much up front, and that costs. Whereas, as I said, good, experienced entrepreneurs know that everything has its natural growth curve. They don't try and force it, they take it slowly, realizing that if they just focus on improving 1% every single day, ultimately speaking, results are going to compound, and they'll get that exponential growth curve. So that's the key lesson that I want to impart to you today. And I really hope you take it, because far too many people are trying to race ahead on their business journeys. They make too many mistakes and some don't succeed. Some get burnt out off the back of that, and that shouldn't be the case. If they only realize that there is this natural growth curve, they would relax into it, take things slow, do themselves justice, and ultimately, what a little feckin' tongue twister at the end of the video, they would ultimately succeed. And I really hope you do too.